Does that look unfocused? Is that just my eyes? No, it isn't.
That's getting better.
It looks alright to me, is it? I wear glasses. 2 seconds while people sit down. I feel slightly torpedoed in this one.
I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
The only I would say Irish is greater than American, so it's fine. I think you might be missold from the title anyway. This isn't one of the Perl 7, let's ignore Perl 6, sort of. I'm going to open actually talking about community, and people keep going on about the Perl community and why it's so good. I'll go back to Larry's quote from Ecclesiastes, which is one of the earliest known recorded brewing recipes. So Larry's talk was talking about casting your bread upon the water. That's actually about making beer. So he was saying we were all drunks. Okay, Perl 5. Perl 5 is dying. Now, I can look around Kiev and say, no, it's not. There's 300 people here. For the last 20 odd years since I've been in the world, I've made my way with what languages? Oh, sorry, was I not loud enough? Does anybody have a hearing aid? I prefer not to use a microphone. Can everybody hear me at the back?
Yeah.
Without shouting? Yes? I'll use the microphone if it's better.
Use the microphone.
Okay. I was brought up debating, but we didn't have microphones. We had to project. In the old days. Anyway. Okay, so let's start again. Perl 5 is dying. I work in industry. I've made my way for the last, let's see, 1998 was only 10 or so years ago, wasn't it? Using Perl. And I love it. I'm not going to deny that I don't. And over the years when I've tried to get other jobs, I've tried to make sure that there's a good component of Perl in it. My embedded C days are behind me. I'm too old for that. That is a young man's game. I like Perl. I don't overly like Perl 6. I love the concept of Perl 6. My contention is Perl 6 has killed Perl 5 for the reasons of, oh, it'll be available at Christmas. Why would we invest any money in any new technology, or any current technology, Perl 5, hire Perl 5 programmers, when there's the whole community bias of Perl 6? We all love Perl 6, we all want it. I want it. So I'm not saying we skip Perl 6. I'm actually not saying we make Perl 7. What I'm saying is we take some of Perl 5 and some of the concepts from modern Perl and from Perl 6, we bring them into Perl 5, we get Perl 5 people used to them, we make a little bit of buzz about it. No matter what people say, it is marketing. The world runs on marketing. Two things, well, amongst the many things the world runs on. Marketing and banking. Advertising, marketing and banking.
And oil.
Oil helps, that's just dead dinosaurs. I don't care. How much do I like dinosaurs? So we missed a trick. Actually, hearing Larry talk this morning, I thought I'm glad about my next slide here. I should have renamed this. Perl 5 plus Perl 6 is Perl 11. My Perl goes up to 11. I mean, come on. That's probably only going to work for a certain demographic, that joke, is it? Oh well, anyway. My Perl goes up to 11. That's cooler. So what I want to do is get these concepts inside the back door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the code that most people have on CPAN. And I'm going to throw some of the concepts in there with some of the stuff that I've read over the years with Perl 6. And I'm going to pretty much ignore both, meld them into what I want. I don't care. It's what I want. I like Perl, and this is the way my mind works. Oh, press a button. Oh, no. Okay, so this, to be honest, offends me. And before I say anything, I have to use another quote. I'll say, what does it profit a man to get a whole new syntax if he loses his soul? Yeah, a limited audience for that one probably as well. I'm quite a fan of Matthew. He's quite difficult. But this offends me in every way. I mean, not the concept. The concept's awesome. It's just ugly. And speaking as a Perl programmer and heading towards my middle-aged Perl programmer, I probably am casting the first stone here. But it doesn't feel Perlish, and that's my problem. What do I define as Perlish? I don't know. You know when you see it. It's one of those. Not that. And how do we lose out to languages that are also ugly? No, I mean, Java is broken by design. I mean, Ruby on Rails is more popular than us these days, and it's like Build-A-Bear programming. It's just not even any good. And I had to maintain some of that. It was awful. So, we're the cool kids. We know we're the cool kids. We just can't seem to convince anybody else. And working in industry, talking to people in industry, I mean, I have to say I make my way working for the man, and the most evil man, not the oil man, this would be the banking man. And the banking man no longer wants to know about perl. It's not the same as it was 10 years ago. And that's what worries me, and I'd like to make my living out of this until at least the next banking crash would be quite good. But anyway, back to this. I mean, this is so ugly, I would class it in the Pascal. Really bad. So we're at a crossroads. Where's my crossroads picture? We can make good choices, we can make bad choices. But we will make our own choices. As Larry was talking about this morning. I did think I should probably rewrite the whole thing of this after the keynote, but I'm Irish and I'll just talk on anyway, I don't care. So, what are we doing? I think we take everybody else, all the other languages are talking about how all their code toys. And it is pretty much a PR spin. I still get recruiters ringing me up and say, oh, do you want this Ruby gig somewhere? And unfortunately, I have to say I did take one. I admit my sins, but I got out after about a year, so it was all right. So, what are we doing? I'm going to quote, this is from the Moose manual itself. We'll leave the line-by-line explanation of this code to other documentation. But you can see how Moose reduces common OO idioms to simple declarative constructs. This is my problem. So I should learn this. We're going back. That there, to me, sums up everything that's completely wrong with Moose. It's the whole DSL nonsense. You've got the like of us, the cool people, who like to hack and do things, create DSLs, the declarative constructs. We're not building programmers anymore, we're building users. It's the difference I used to try and explain to my mother years ago, the difference between Windows and the fact that I sit with a black screen on my computer all day, not what she does. It's using a word processor versus trying to work out how to build one. Lego versus Meccano. So, what are we doing? I mean, this is good if you want to teach people constructs, ideas. Not everybody has a hardcore computer science background, and God knows I don't. I learned all this stuff by doing. Whenever the object system came into Perl, and I say that politely, I had to learn all these new concepts, and everybody was going, oh, is the answer for everything. But at least in those days, you know, you bless a hash ref, you can sort of see what it's doing, you can attach your methods. You tinkered with it. This, to me, takes away the tinkering. You know, there's no wit, style, or verb with it, and the syntax doesn't help. So, that was a bit of a delay. Enough of that. I'm going to now try rework the examples somewhat. A bit of my own philosophy on how I've seen Perl develop and how I think Perl goes. I'm not making any judgments. I'm just saying, let's make it more Perl. Let's get the Perl 6 concepts into Perl 5. The company I work for have been in talks with the Perl Foundation to try and get some of the mock stuff into Perl 5 core. We would use Moose and this sort of stuff. We wouldn't use Perl 6, especially not after seeing how long it takes a loop to go this morning on the JVM. That would kill us. But we want to get these concepts in. Anyway, Perl 7. Let's go back a few slides. No, that's not. Let's go for another one. Come on. There we go. This is, again, is the standard Moose example. Beautiful. It is. It is. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to amplify this in my own way. Okay, so here we go. Now, if life hadn't got in the way, I would have had something that parsed this properly. I also have half a IDE built. I'll get to that in a minute, but it didn't actually work. I ran out of time, and it was lovely in London last week, so it's sad. This is not a million miles away from what's currently there. I've just split it out slightly. I mean, some of the words I don't like. Extends, for example. I never ever liked extends. It's a very cold-faced computer scientist word, and it doesn't fit in with creativity. Oh, okay, thank you. Right. Do you know, I thought I was going to not have enough slides, but I might run out of time here. Okay, so what I've done is I've rejigged things somewhat. I don't like extends. I'm not overly happy with supplements, but you know, it's closer. Now, you may look at this and say, oh, that looks really like old-fashioned Perl. I think that's the point. I mean, I'm not taken with the new one at all. And the delegates, as opposed to handles. When I read the docs the first time for this, a while ago, I saw the handles. Handles is clumsy. I don't like clumsy. Yes, it's a delegating method. Delegates is probably worse, but handles does not imply what I wanted to do. Okay. There is nothing new under the sun. All this stuff's already been done. Why am I even talking about it? The point is, Perl 6 isn't here, regardless of whatever clamour we have. Perl 5 is, I want people to use Perl 6, but let's run them in easy. The whole around business in Moose, who thought that was a good idea? I mean, hook lecture up we already have, so people are aware of the concept. The whole point of method arts takes away, I mean, most people say, oh, you can use it for your validation, take it out. But again, we're back to the build a bear programmers. Don't worry, little fellow. I'll handle all the validation, you just write the code. It's like going back, that's very pejorative, it's not exactly the same. It's like, who remembers the great, let's take all the HTML out of our code in 97, 98? No? Yes? Good. And then there was the whole, let's take all the SQL out of our code. This sort of stuff is great. The whole Moose stuff is great for that, because what you've got down is you've got business logic at the end of the day. You've removed all the interesting code, you let people write some if and while loops inside it. So what I decided to do is I'm going to find the code, I'm going to rip all this stuff out, and I'm going to put it in a header class. Do we have any old assembly programmers here? Yes? Good man. I like header classes. And betraying my C roots as well. But why do we do the C? This is, if you want to take all your validation and Moose declarations, take them all out into a separate class. So I've called it header package, and using a bit of grammar parsing, I managed to get this almost working. Stick them on the header class. This was why I was building my IDE. You have an IDE that pulls in all the header classes, knows all its declaration, it properly walks through where the methods are so you know what the attributes are, nothing is hidden. And it's still reasonably ugly. But all it does is we come back into our user class, and then everything's more compact. It looks a little bit more magical. But we have all the stuff taken out. Oh, we can hide any sufficiently encapsulated hack is no longer a hack. So let's hide all the stuff away. In a header class, people know where they are. It's a lot, to my mind, it's a lot more Perlish. I mean, you can hide it away, so where it goes. I was going to talk about roles. Then I read some of the threads on roles and traits on some of the mailing lists, and I decided there's slightly strong feelings about that, so I'm not going to tread anybody's toes with that one. But again, it's does anybody else using dual vars around? You should all be using dual vars. They're awesome.
We do at work.
We have production code with dual vars in it. I recommend you do that. They're really quite nice. I don't know if there's performance hits for them. We haven't noticed much, but they're quite nice. So anyway, we have the role stuff again, which we put out into a separate file. We are going back to the 1960s here. But all the roles are hidden elsewhere. It's semi-polymorphic, I suppose. So I wanted to talk about the immutable stuff as well. The immutable stuff doesn't do what I think it does. And I was thinking about, well, can I stick it all in a final block, doing stuff in init blocks? But again, we're back to, I don't like init blocks and stuff like that. Again, it's ugly. So I'll stick it in my header file, hide everything away. Yeah. So what have I missed? So I shouldn't be there. Oh yeah, look, I've skipped out 2 whole pages. That's not good. See, I was hoping to have something cobbled together to show you. And I'm not saying, regardless of that I felt personally troubled this morning, that we need to skip Perl 6. What I'm saying is we take the concepts and we roll them into Perl 5. Perl 5 is still used. Then what we do is we all put on our Armani suits and we go and talk to people. I mean, we need better PR. I'm getting another number here. We need better PR. I mean, Dave's point a minute ago that Yahtzee Asia gets thousands of people. I'm going to be imperialistic here and say, but we're the rich West. Why do we not get as many of that? Is this not indicative of the fact that something's gone wrong? Now, I'm not saying it's all Perl 6's fault, but it's perception. And I was talking to the Norwegians. Do we have them in tonight? I was talking to the Norwegians in the pub, and they were also haranguing me about this talk on Saturday night. It is all perception. It's nothing to do with whether we want Perl 6 now or we want Perl 7. Perl 5 is still there. We need to keep Perl 5 going. We don't want, I'm not really being serious that we want, oh, no, last one. We don't really want Perl 7. How many people use Moose? Yeah.
Perl 6 uses it.
I know it does. Who thinks it's a nice, clean syntax?
It's better than the alternative.
Okay, I mean, that's the other thing. I haven't looked at moo or mouse yet, and I'm going, I mean, the other thing I was thinking about, I was going to call...
Cool.
Sorry?
Moo is cool.
Was it, yes, moo is moose without the massive overhead, yes. I was thinking, like, okay, you've got moo, no, moose, mouse, moo, I was almost focused on doing that.
Oh, but that's a positive thing.
Yes.
Isn't the fact that you have so many people working on these things indicative of a really vibrant Perl 5 community?
There's a difference between yes and no.
Don't just come back at me, think about it for a second.
No,
and
no,
answer me
I have been asked that, and to my mind, no, I agree, and I've given some stuff back.
You agree, and yet you're saying the opposite, I think.
Well, no, I think it's an echo chamber. That's my main problem. It's the same people talking to the same people. It's not breaking out. Because I talk to people in suits all the time. They say, oh, Perl, yeah, we remember that. We used to have some beery hippie guy do that back in the early 2000s. And I don't want it to be like that anymore. And I keep trying to ask people, why do you not use Perl anymore? Oh, no, that's an old language. You wouldn't want that anymore. We've got all... And it's a marketing perception thing. I'm not saying the Perl community is dying at all.
I think you did, I'm sure you did.
You think so?
I think you said explicitly that Perl 5 is dying at the beginning of the talk.
That is my opening line, yes.
I wasn't awake.
Yes, I wasn't. But that's different. I mean, I don't think the Perl community is dying. Yeah, okay, I'm going to get all Irish on you now. That might be what I said, but it's not. I did tone this down slightly over what I was thinking about the coffee, not to make it so antagonistic. And I'm not meaning to be antagonistic. It's perception. I'm not saying the community is dying, and there's lots of clever people doing lots of clever stuff. That is still happening. But whenever I went to find a new job, because I really didn't like Ruby, it came across like a toy language to me. I really took aversion to it. I don't know why. That's a personal thing.
Have you tried PHP?
I've been lucky enough to stay away from crayons. And I wanted to get back to get another Perl job. And let's just say the banking industry plays reasonably well. I mean, I've been through the music industry, and I've been through the advertising industry, and the banking industry pays better than all. There's less, there's less whiskey to drink in the day-to-day than there is in the music industry. The community's there. I mean, I still read the mailing lists. I'm still on the mailing lists. I can see there's a lot of clever people doing a lot of clever stuff. Why is it not known why they're about? It's a perception thing. That's what I'm trying to change. I want the perception. I want to go to a meeting and somebody saying, oh, you're still a Perl programmer. We want you to come work for us and pay lots of money. No, that's good. That's what I want.
Join Propaganda.pm.
Oh, I'm unaware of this. I'd be quite happy for that. Being in ex-Soviet Russia, I'd say yes, of course. No problem. I'm unaware of that. I'm quite happy to.
Tomorrow.
We also, I mean, one of the guys that works for us went to a London Perl Mongers meeting. And you can hear that story later on if you want. Thank you very much.